dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original? We just gonna act like he ain't happy. Yeah. It's your boy DJ New Kid, your girl.
Sierra Nicole.
Back on the channel with another
Kid and C original.
Welcome back to the channel, man. And we got a good one for y'all today, man. We got employees exposed and fired for doing stupid things. You never got fired for a job, though.
No, not really.
It's not really. Oh.
That don't count. That don't count. And we're not going to talk about it because it don't count.
But you said fuck him before you even started anyway.
I said what?
I said you said fuck him before you even started anyway.
Yeah, so that don't
But
count.
no. I think when we did the classroom part, you were cool. It's just
You
when
know,
you got to the other part, you was just like, fuck this shit. I ain't with this.
But it's so crazy.
But you were like, the money look good, so.
Yeah, but it was so crazy. Yeah, the money was good. But it was so crazy because I ended up going to somewhere that was even worse.
Oh, it was worse?
As far as like the volume.
Nah, no.
Yes, it was. The customers were. Yes, they were.
I stayed there.
No, it was. It really was.
But I've been fired.
But no, it wasn't. You right.
I've been fired a lot.
You've been fired a lot. You couldn't keep a job.
I can keep a job.
I ain't said you can't now. I said you couldn't back then.
I said I could keep a job. Because
obviously not.
It was like 2 years. My max was 2 years, and I'm up out of it.
Is that a spit bubble?
Nah. But my max was like 2 years, and I was up out that mug. It's just something. It's like a year and a half to 2. I'm always out the door. I'll be like, hey, say no more, bro. And I ain't care, bro. I'll be like, you fired me, bro. P. So with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box down below. You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you gotta do is check out down below. Also, we always take a time and salute to the comment of the day.
Salute to you.
We highly appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep running us up. We're gonna always shout y'all out. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, man. But we got employees exposed and fired for doing stupid things. Now, I ain't never did nothing stupid. Oh, yes, I have.
Let's just.
That was stupid. That was stupid to me.
Come on.
Y'all get a story time on that later. For sure. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
As the great philosophers Blink182 once said, work sucks. I know. To make their lives more interesting, humble workers have to get creative. But sometimes they go too far and pay the ultimate price. Here are 10 of the stupidest things employees have ever done to get fired. Number 10. Domino's employees film themselves. You may have seen the bit from the film Waiting, where the kitchen staff take turns putting bodily fluids onto a customer's food. But little did we know that some workers have actually taken this as an instructional guide. Domino's employees Christy Hammonds and Michael Setzer went rogue and lived out the worst nightmare of anyone who's ever ordered takeout. They filmed themselves sneezing on pizzas, putting cheese up their nose, and rubbing a sponge used to clean the dishes on their butts. The two were immediately fired and the store was closed for immediate cleaning. But not before the scandal went viral and was picked up by news reports nationwide. In the end, they were both charged with felony violations of adulterating food. Hammonds received a 45-day suspended sentence and 18 months probation, while Setzer was given a 6-month suspended sentence and 24 months of supervised probation. Not so funny anymore, is it? Number 9. The flight attendant who rage quit. August 9th, 2010 was just another day for veteran flight attendant Steven Slater. But Steven, who had 20 years of experience at JetBlue, was about to get a customer from hell and make a decision that would seal his fate with the company and enter him into the history books. According to news reports, Steven had been attending a flight that landed in JFK Airport, New York. At this point, a female passenger attempted to stand to get her bag before the plane had come to a complete stop. Slater went to her to ask her to sit down, at which point she hit him with her bag and cursed at him. According to witnesses, Slater went to the speakerphone at the front of the plane and after a few profanities of his own said, "I've been in this business 20 years and that's it. I'm done. After this, he grabbed 2 beers from the drinks trolley, pulled the emergency slide, jumped out of the plane, and drove home to see his boyfriend. He was later arrested and let go from his job, but remains a cult hero among overworked, underappreciated service workers everywhere. Number 8. Police officer.
Look.
He don't beat. I feel him on his.
Yeah,
I feel him on his. You ain't gonna cuss me out and hit me, bro. You know what?
Because I would have did a little bit more to get on some intercom and took 2 beers.
and poured emergency as his head rolled out. But that's how's this not number 10 and the other one? The Dominos. Oh. The Dominos need to be more up the line, bro.
That's nasty.
That's
on a different level. Most definitely.
What if that actually went out to somebody?
Coin toss. You know that bit No Country for Old Men where Javier Bardem's character roams the countryside flipping a coin to determine who lives or dies? Well, that fantasy is now a reality, thanks to the ingenuity of these Georgia police officers. At a routine traffic stop, they interrogated a woman who was caught speeding to work. They then went back to their cruiser, where they did something odd. They flipped a coin, using an app, to decide whether or not to let the woman go or arrest her. The officer used the terms A, or arrest, for heads, and R, or release, for tails.
Who's that? A head, R tail. Okay. This is tail, right? Yeah. So really, 20.
Sounds dumb, but it gets worse. It was all caught on their own body cameras. The 2 officers were later terminated from their posts, and the lady they arrested was later dismissed from any charges by a prosecutor. Treating freedom like it's a game of chance? Not cool. Number 7. Daycare workers' Instagram.
That's lame as hell, bro.
Bruh.
And what? Just think, they just the ones that got caught.
Facts. I was just saying, yes. Facts.
And they had to learn it from somewhere.
What you said?
Working at a daycare is a stressful job that requires you be a caring, good-natured individual who loves kids.
True.
But what happens when the exact opposite of that type of person gets hired for the job? Probably what happened at Heavenly Haven Learning Center in Virginia, where parents discovered pictures of their children were online in the form of Instagram posts. The care workers decided to create a less-than-secret account where they not only posted pictures of the kids, but made mean comments about their appearance. In some, they likened them to characters from Pixar movies, and in others, they just wrote text about how much they hated them. The workers were, of course, fired, but the damage was already done, and the daycare was flooded with news reporters all looking to get a piece of the action. Number 6. Cop caught stealing. You never know quite what you're going to see on security camera. This footage comes from outside a Goodwill in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's not uncommon for charity drop-offs to be ransacked, especially if the donations are left outside. What is uncommon, however, is to see a protector of the peace doing it. This man caught stealing from charity is Officer Bryce Miller. He drove up in the middle of the night to load up a few hot goods. What's worse? He did it in his own patrol car. He resigned from his position not long after. Goodwill? More like good riddance. Number 5.
The fact y'all just allow him to resign. No, motherfucker, you get fired.
I'm just trying to find the good in it.
They get paid well. They get paid.
Pizza delivery driver goes rogue. The service industry can be horrible, with ungrateful customers and long shifts. Sometimes it's the good tips that help the workers make it through the harder times. After this pizza delivery driver didn't receive a tip, he took matters, and other things, into his own hands. The customer discovered a yellow liquid on her front steps several hours later. When she checked the security camera footage, she found out what happened. The driver was caught on security camera footage unzipping his trousers and peeing all over her door. The delivery driver later apologized, but it was too late. He was fired shortly after. You might say he pissed off the wrong people. Number 4. Delivery drivers gone wild. There must be something about all that traveling around that turns certain delivery drivers into wild animals. The number of clips from home security cameras of couriers throwing, tossing, or pushing parcels with a truck is unbelievable. But my favorite stupid moment has to be this incident in Houston. The owner of the home noticed his UPS delivered parcel had been damaged. Luckily, he had cameras that saw the whole thing unfold and solved the mystery. Checking the security footage of his side gate, he noticed 2 things when the courier walked up to deliver the parcel. Firstly, he throws the parcel, And then, if that wasn't enough, he urinates on the gate just as an additional screw you. Though he was later fired, this guy really put the P in UPS. Number 3.
I ain't gonna count. I ain't gonna count. That actually happens a lot. Just ask any employee that has worked in a work. I always say this.
Yeah, you do.
But just every time, like, as somebody who works at a warehouse, they'll tell you, y'all, a lot of times y'all packages get...
It's trifling.
So you call me trifling?
If the shoe fits.
Oh, Alright.
Later fired, this guy really put the P in UPS. Number 3. KFC employees taking a bath at work. Ever see those employees must wash their hands sign at restaurants? Well, this group of workers at a KFC in Anderson, California took their personal hygiene a step further. Noticing that the dishwashing sink could hold several of them, they did something unique. They decided to strip down and take a group bath. That's right. These girls added their own 11 secret herbs and spices to the mix, contaminating almost everything in the kitchen in the process, all while taking selfies of the whole thing. Their fun and games earned them national attention, and they were promptly fired. Finger looking good? Hardly. Number 2. Airline employees sleeping on the floor. Ryanair is a budget airline in the UK famous for their cheap but often disruptive flights. They've also landed themselves in a bit of hot water for underpaying their staff and posting the salaries of their pilots when they went on strike. If that doesn't sound like too much of a PR nightmare already, then this latest one really took off. Seen here in this photo is several Ryanair staff sleeping on the floor in an airport. They had not been given a hotel or any bedding for their overnight stay, and so they took the desperate measure of lying where they could. Tragic, right? Well, the plot thickens when it emerged that this photo had been faked. Ryanair's official Twitter account was quick to dispel the rumor, and in fact showed a video of them setting up the shot. Despite the strangeness of an official business Twitter account publicly taking its own employees to task, it still kinda seems like the poor staff had to stay overnight in a dark room with only plastic chairs for comfort. Even if the photo was fake, the overall working conditions weren't. So who's the real villain here? Now, before I reveal number 1,
that is a good response to it, because hey, you know the dumbest one we really have heard of before? It's not on the list, because it's the one that happened in Nashville. 4th of July, they were popping firecrackers inside the Taco Bell.
Oh, I don't remember that.
This year or last year? They were popping firecrackers inside the Taco Bell and burnt down the Taco Bell.
No, I ain't know about
Google
that.
it, baby. Google it.
Here's an honorable mention. If you've been on the internet long enough, you've no doubt heard the phrase Burger King foot lettuce. It's not a cheat code for GTA 5. Rather, it's a disgusting tale that needs to be seen to be believed. In 2012, a man posted a picture of himself at work in a Burger King on internet message board 4chan. The photo featured him with his shoes on, standing in 2 piles of salad, with the caption, "This is the lettuce you eat at Burger King." But he forgot the golden rule of restaurateurs. Don't mess with people's food. Quickly, internet detectives, rather than applauding him for his bizarre photo, tracked down exactly where he worked and phoned local news outlets as well as the manager of the Burger King itself, which turned out to be in Mayfield Heights, Ohio. The result? He was fired, but this is the internet we're talking about, so you know that's not where the story ends. Later, a viral video on the subject of mysteries solved by 4chan featured a less than enigmatic narrator recounting this event. His strange inflection as he talked about the Burger King foot lettuce sounded like it was being read by an alien trying to learn English.
Burger King foot lettuce.
Of course, it was memed and remixed to infinity.
Burger King foot lettuce.
Number 1. Man caught skipping work. If you didn't need reminding, making pasta in Italy is no laughing matter. So when the news came through that certain parts of the country were lapsed in their work ethic, one of the world's largest pasta makers, Barilla, sprang into action. This story comes from Foggia, southern Italy. According to statistics, people down south work less hard and take more days off. In Foggia, this was true, especially on days of bigger soccer games. And in a factory where one man could be responsible for an entire line, this absenteeism presented a huge problem. Nicola Calandrea, manager of the Barilla plant in Foggia, decided to make it better known to his employees that he would stay on top of their attendance and make notes about their absences. going so far as to call their doctors to check up on them. This culminated in the extreme example of a man called Marco Tutti. Marco asked for time off but was refused, and so instead decided to call in sick. What he was actually doing was going to play soccer for the local team. His plan worked out great, until he scored a goal during the match and got his face in the next day's newspaper for his boss to admire. He was fired, which drove Calandrea's point home, and absenteeism dropped to a record low. And the sponsor of that local football team that Tootie played for? Barilla, of course. So which employee do you think?
Damn, cuz that's messed up.
I was just about to say, that's messed up, though.
Oh, bruh. Just cause you should have been like, no, don't kick it to me. Don't kick it. I'm a help. I'm a kick. Y'all ain't scored.
Oh my god,
bruh, that's messed up for real, bruh.
Well, he should have just gave him the day off. He asked for the day off.
Maybe he had no PTO.
He got something. He don't allow him to. See, he got something there.
He had, what you saying? He had to have something for him to even put it in.
So I'm just saying he should at least gave him the day off. I wouldn't have to lie. I wouldn't have to call in sick and I'd be sick. Let me have the day off. I asked for the day off, man. You get what I'm saying?
You got the PTO.
Because he probably put the. That's what I'm saying.
If you ain't got the PTO,
but they can deny that though. That's what I'm saying. He probably did have PTO, put it in, and he denied it.
Well, it's a whole nother country. We don't know how they shit.
I don't. Right.
So with that being said, y'all spells though, let us know what you react to that so we can bring it over here. But as always, y'all know how it go, man. I do go with the name DJ Kid. This is we are.
Yeah. Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partner.